I'm on. Is there an issue? I'm getting a weird error. Do I sound okay and do I look okay? Hello, I'm getting this weird error message, and I'm just not sure if I should do something else or if it's fine. She'll get here. Do let me know. I'm just gonna go back here. I'm gonna start, and if there's some issue, I hope so anyway. Oh, am I not here? Okay, the current resolution. Switch it. Okay. Expected resolution 1920 by 1080. Okay. Oh man. All right. Oh, hello. Yes, I see you. I felt you calling my name. Oh, hello. Yes, I see you. I felt you calling my name. That shade of pink, so unusual and yet so me. That line so exquisite, a silhouette so simple and yet unlike any other on the market. A décolleté so subtle and filled with wicked promise. Okay, well, if Nancy is hearing and seeing me fine, I'll ask Marlis to refresh her browser. And if that doesn't work, we'll have to start the stream again. It says I'm in the wrong resolution, and I have a vague sense that I bet I know why that happened. But Nancy, you're there, and you are seeing and hearing me just fine. I'm also going to text my in-house tech support and see if he can see and hear me just fine. But if Nancy can, then it must all be fine. I don't know why it would broadcast there well and not to Marlis. So I would say that's issues on her side. Oh, you got me now. Okay, we're all good. And now, friends, we shall start today's stream. which is wisdom, advice, and learning. And we'll start with this guitar. Yeah, it doesn't like the resolution I'm streaming at either, but we're gonna go with it. It's funny, I'm seeing you have the conversation being like, oh, like I'm sure she'll be on soon, and I'm like, no, I'm here. Gotta go, but I hear music. I got an old video of me doing a sneak preview of Bloom Crow album. Oh, I'm gonna give you hear music. I'm gonna ask, and I'm back now. Okay, so that might have been, I was trying to change because it wanted me to change the video resolution, and then my streaming software won't let me change the video resolution while I have a video on, but anyway, it won't let me change anything while I'm streaming, so apart from the rate I'm streaming at, it did let me change that, and I think that solved the problem. So today, friends, here we are. Welcome to the weekly Wednesday Warble. I should be keeping tally because I think we've had a different technical issue at the start of every single stream for like the last month and a half. But our theme this week is wisdom, advice, and learning. And so we'll start with a little bit of wisdom. And yeah, so this is sort of a... I think this is also learning, but I feel that the wisdom in this song is that if you're feeling kind of grumpy, get up and go out for a walk. I was feeling kind of grumpy, couldn't be bothered with anything. Got up and put my shoes on, out the door, go see what's out there. I walked down the street until I found a path that led into the woods. I lost myself for hours. How good it is to go out for a walk. I saw what looked like bunny tracks. I followed them and fell into a bog. I scraped my knee as I crawled out and got feasted on by flies. Walked down the street until I found a path that led into the woods. I lost myself for hours. How good it is to go out for a walk. Dipped my feet into a pond and stopped to eat some berries on its shore, where I was scolded by the birds, and then some squirrels told me off. I saw a moose. Walked down the street until I found a path that led into the woods. I lost myself for hours. How good it is to go out for a walk. It's good to go out walking. How good it is to go out. It's good to go out for a walk. Oh, and your work hours are different now. Yay! Good. I'm glad to have you back. And I think this is the time of day that seems to be working out best for me. So I'm glad it's all working out for everybody involved. And yeah, today I've been sitting in the basement working all day, and there was a knock. I have a door here. And there was a knock on my door to the outside. And it's like, who's knocking on my door? And it was my husband. And he was like, it's really nice out. Come outside for a minute. And it was like, that was a good piece of wisdom. Get up. get up and go outside. And now I have the I have the shoes up. I have the shoes up there because my advice in general is buy the shoes. So this next one we're going to keep on the wisdom. We're going to keep on the wisdom, and this is another one of mine. And this is my song about painting the house, and the wisdom here. The wisdom in a lot of my songs, I think, is, you know, don't sweat the small stuff. And at the same point, I guess I learned about painting my house. Paint settled in the fibers of the carpet on one edge where the tape was less secure. I did my best to soak it up, but latex hardens much too swiftly for my reflexes to snare. Well, there go all my efforts for a clean job. There go my endeavors for a perfect home. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, I poured over too many shades of white. Who knew such a number could exist? It was far more complicated than I was expecting, and by the end of it, just kinda picked one. Well, there go all my efforts for a clean job. There goes all my planning, all my careful choice. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess I didn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, what matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the feeling of renewal. What matters is a place to sip our coffee. So many jagged edges where a hole was cut for piping, or a molding isn't quite flush to the wall. I broke so many tiny brushes made of foam, just trying to jam that paint to those corners. When it was all done, there were still spaces, places that I missed where the old shows through. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, what matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the feeling of renewal. What matters is a place to sip our coffee. What matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the house is not so dark now. There we go. So that's in the grand scheme of things. And we're gonna move out of wisdom now. We're gonna move out of wisdom and into straight up advice. I think we've got straight up advice for the next little while, and we'll come back to that again. No! I just threw water all over my computer. I hope that's not going to be an issue. One moment, please, friends. I'm going to... I use this separate table so that I don't spill water on my computer. I did not consider this. What are we learning? What wisdom are we gaining? One moment, friends. I am going to perhaps grab some paper towel. Some industrial paper towel, which I have on hand. And we shall put our table over here instead of over there. I'm just gonna wipe this down. I think the grill on the front of my computer tower seems to be probably keeping everything out. So that's not so bad. An industrial paper towel can keep that up. And I will just send a quick message to tech support upstairs to bring me a new cup of water, and then we'll get on with the singing. I just spilled all my water, and I'm streaming. Please bring me more water. There. We'll get back. We'll get to the next song. All right, the next song, straight up advice. Straight up advice. Don't put your water anywhere near your computer tower. All right. He'll come down in a couple of minutes. All right. So whenever I put these streams together, there's no water, there's one sip. No matter what the theme is, I can pretty much always turn to Mr. John Prine and find a song. And I've got, he shows up in the list a few times today. So we'll start with this one. I always give my husband a hard time for not closing my door when he leaves my room, and he just very deliberately looked me in the eye and closed the door. Dear Abby, well, I never thought that me and my girlfriend would ever get caught. We were sitting in the backseat just just married, just married, just married. You have no complaint. You are what you are and you ain't what you ain't. So listen up, Buster, and listen up good. Stop wishing for bad luck and knocking on wood. Signed, Dear Abby. There we go. There we go. A little bit of John Prine. All right, and I think this next one, this is one you'll know, I'm sure. This next one is perhaps the most famous advice song ever. Now I'm going to take this away from all the very delicate electronics that are all gathered over on that side, and I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to take a moment to make sure my table is very well ready. All right. All right. Little Kenny Rogers. So we're sticking with advice. We are sticking with advice, and we're going to go back to one of mine. And this is this one's a bit silly, but I think sometimes I wonder about that guy that Alanis Morissette wrote that song about. Gather round, good people, and hear my story. Gather and listen to my tale of woe. If you pay attention and heed my warning, you'll survey. You're sure to save yourself from sorrow. Don't give your heart to a singer-songwriter. Don't give your heart to a lyrical soul. For if you give your heart to a singer-songwriter, you'll soon find yourself screaming in a vacuum. Anything you say can and will be used in song. Everything you do winds up in a monologue. Everything you feel, everything you fear, they see as fair game. So don't give your heart to a singer-songwriter. Don't give your heart to a lyrical soul. For if you give your heart to a singer-songwriter, you'll soon find yourself screaming in a vacuum. They may come across as authentic and genuine, but it's all an act to absorb your hopes and dreams. Any little failure, every single triumph, they'll take for their own. They'll apologize and try to make things up to you. Then they'll write it down, play it on the radio. Nothing's ever real. Your life is never private, just exploitable. So don't give your heart to a singer-songwriter. Don't give your heart to a lyrical soul. For if you give your heart to a singer-songwriter, you'll soon find yourself screaming in a vacuum. When it all is over, you are left with nothing. They're left with material and the nation's sympathy. Nobody will hear your side. You'll live in infamy, villainized. And if you try to tell your tale, you will very likely find yourself screaming in a vacuum. So don't give your heart to a singer-songwriter. Don't give your heart to a singer-songwriter. There, screaming in a vacuum. Okay, we're gonna take a break from advice, although this is also advice, but it's also, well, it's a song about learning. It's a little bit of advice about learning, some wisdom to impart. Like you say, wisdom and advice are pretty closely connected. I'm enjoying, I had a purple cup of water that I spilled all over the place, and then my husband brought me a cup that's purple on the inside and has purple polka dots, and I'm wearing a purple blazer. So I keep looking over and enjoying how well everything looks together. Play the wrong note, strike the wrong chord, play out of key. Many things worth doing are worth doing more accent. Speak like a child. It's only by doing we get any better. You're never too wrong when you drop a stitch. You're never too wrong when it don't make sense. You're never too wrong. You're never too wrong. Bit by bit by bit, bit by bit by bit, make mistakes and let yourself make ugly, stupid things. You're never too wrong when you miss the turn. You're never too wrong when you try new things. You're never too wrong. You're never too wrong. Lift a light weight. Join a bad team. Run slowly. You have to start somewhere, and here's as good as any. There we go, never too wrong. And now we're going to go strictly into learning. And I'm being extraordinarily careful with all of my things now. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop, boop boop. So this is about learning. This is about one of the first things we learn when we're very little. This is called object permanence. What's there is there, whether I am there or object permanence. And, oh, that's funny. Yeah, we can move that around. I moved that so we can get this song next. No, we'll stick with my order. We'll go back and forth between guitars. All right. This is advice. This is advice again. This falls under the well, maybe it's not entirely true. I wrote this song because somebody really did stand up and say this in the audience of a song circle that I was at. I was performing at a song circle, and I played one of my love songs, and I had said, oh, you know, I don't write a lot of love songs, but I've written a few lately, so here's one. And there was another woman in the song circle, and she was like, all I write is love songs. So she started, like, each time she would get to a song, she'd kind of apologize about, like, well, it's another love song. And until finally this woman in the audience stood up and was like, don't ever apologize for writing a love song. So I was like, I'm taking that. Don't ever apologize for writing a love song. Don't ever be sorry for the good things in your life. There's enough strife and sorrow. Save the sad songs for tomorrow. Celebrate the joys and don't you dare ever apologize for writing a love song. Yay, Nancy's back. It's a good thing. Maybe you're just, an earlier song perhaps was a piece of advice you don't want Pepper to hear, so good thing you're back for this one. I stepped up to the microphone quite shyly. I wondered what they all would think of me. Feeling kind of superficial, blundered through some mild excuses. Then she stood up and said, save the sad songs for tomorrow. Celebrate the joys and don't you dare ever apologize for writing a love song. Some folks there were thoughtful and artistic, songs about their deepest inner pain. Mumbled I'd be frivolous, simple, shallow, and inane. When she stood up and said, save the sad songs for tomorrow. Celebrate the joys and don't you dare ever apologize for writing a love song. There were people singing songs of protest with great social and political import. Reluctantly I followed, giving my regrets for trivializing when she stood up and said, room for every we go. That's writing a love song. And that brings us back to Mr. John Prine. So we've got 2 John Prine songs in the set today. We've got 2 more songs in the set, and well, we've got some mention of John Prine in each of them. If you're looking for wisdom, and advice, there's really no need to look any further than the songs of John Prine. So. She was level-headed dancer on the road to alcohol, and I was just a soldier on my way to Montreal. Well, she pressed her chest against me about the time that the jukebox broke. Yeah, she gave me a peck on the back of her neck, and these are the words she spoke. Blow up your TV, throw away your paper, move to the country, build you a home, plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, try to find Jesus on your own. Well, I sat there at the table and I acted real naive, for I knew that topless lady had something up her sleeve. Well, she danced around the bar room and she did the hoochie coo. Yeah, she sang her song all night long, telling me what to do. Blow up your TV, throw away your paper, go to the country, build you a home, plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, try to find Jesus on your own. Well, I was young and hungry and about to leave that place. Just as I was leaving, well, she looked me in the face. I said, you must know the answer. She said, no, but I'll give it a try. And to this very day, we've been living our way. And here's the reason why. We blew up our TV, threw away our paper, went to the country, built a little home, had a lot of children, fed them on peaches. They all found Jesus on their own. Spanish Pipe Dream, and we're gonna stay on the theme, the theme of Mr. John Prine, and our last song. The lyrics to this song are by my friend Kara Windsor Hare, and she was thinking of John Prine when she wrote them, and I think it's a good piece. It's a good bit of wisdom. It's a good bit of advice. swirling in the sunlight that blossoms and blooms. A comfort like your mother calling you home from Angel Place. So you wrote it all down in the margins. The chords may be simple and the lyrics run long, but there are no rules here, so you won't be wrong. The sentimenty's been brewed strong. You want to write a song like John. Tragedy and comedy on his pretty face, wisdom and poetry found at the dog race. You find yourself breathing where the air smells like snakes, so you wrote it all down in the margins. The chords may be simple and the lyrics run long, and the sentimenty's been brewed strong, but there are no rules here, so you won't be wrong. If you want to write a song like John, if you want to write a song like John, if you want to write a song like John. And there we go. There we have it. There we have it for the week. Thank you so much for joining me on this edition of the weekly Wednesday Warble, fraught with issues technical and physical. But it's a pleasure as always, and I had fun. I had fun picking out the songs. This is one of those themes where there was no shortage. There was no shortage of wisdom and advice in the world of song to share with you. I will be back next week at the same time. I believe the theme next week is journeys, and so we'll go some places. We'll go some places next week. And I wish you all a wonderful week, a fabulous Wednesday, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.